All right, good evening. Thank you for joining us. My name is Rob Ford. I'm Tipmont and Wintek's Communication Director, and I'm excited to show you our new fiber internet service that's coming very soon to your neighborhood and in some cases already available in your neighborhood. So here's our agenda this evening. I'm going to spend just a few minutes giving a construction update and talking about our service pricing and features, and then we'll take your questions via the Q&A feature in the Zoom application. To help us move along, we've turned off your microphones and cameras, but we will take time to answer your question at the end using the Q&A text chat. So please enter any questions that you have in the Q&A area of your Zoom application. I also want to draw our first gift card winner, and that's congratulations to Steve Dunlop. Steve, you've won a $25 Visa gift card. We'll contact you after the meeting to verify your mailing address so we can get that to you. And we'll announce a second gift card winner right at the end of the presentation, just before the Q&A. So we also have a poll up on the screen. Do you have or have you ordered our internet service? It looks like about 36% of you or 9 of you have, and about 64% of you haven't. So about evenly split. Interesting. So we'll probably get a good variety of questions tonight. I hope the information that we present tonight is useful to you. So I'm going to go ahead and end the polling. All right. We hosted a virtual community night back in July. So if you attended the first time, you may hear a little bit of repeat information, but we also have a brand new streaming TV recommendation tool that we're rolling out, and I'm really excited to show you tonight. So let's start just with a construction update. If you live in our Lafayette build area that you see here on your screen, construction is complete and we're ready to get you installed. And I'll go over that process here in just a moment. I'm going to see if I can slide this guy over here so it's out of the way. There we go. All right. If you live in our Monitor build area, we're in the final phase of construction now, which is testing and splicing the fiber lines. And we expect that to be complete by December 1st, at which time we'll be ready to begin running the outside line to your home. So if you're interested in our fiber service, there are 4 steps that you need to do. And one of the key things to know is that it's going to take some time to get your service active because we're building this state-of-the-art fiber network from the ground up. So the first thing you need to do if you're interested is order service by visiting join.wintek.com or by calling our office at 800-726-3953, and I'll get that phone number again here in a little bit. If you call our office, our hours are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. To 4:30 p.m. So once you've ordered service, one of our connection specialists will schedule a time to visit with you at your home and plan where you want the line and the box on the outside of your home to go. Generally, the fiber line is going to follow the same path as the existing electric line. And if your electric lines are buried, we'll bury the fiber line as well. And we also recommend that the box on the outside of your home is placed right near your electric meter. So once you've signed off on those plans, our fiber contractors, which is a company called Bury It, will run the line to the outside of your home. We call this drop construction. Because of high demand, this process usually takes about 6 to 8 weeks. If you do intend to order service, we recommend that you do so sooner rather than later, as we may not be able to run that underground line to your home once the ground freezes this winter. So once the line to the outside of your home is complete, we will call you to schedule your in-home installation. I will note now that the entire installation is free. Our professional installer will run the line from the box on the outside of your home all the way to your fiber modem. And that's an important distinction. This truly is fiber all the way to the modem inside your home. So you don't have to worry about the last leg of your service coming in over aging copper lines that may inhibit your internet performance. All right, now I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about our service features and pricing. We call this hassle-free internet. There are no fees and there are no gimmicks. There are no contracts. There's no fine print. Your price will not skyrocket when your promotional period expires because there is no promotional period. If you don't like the service, just call us and cancel. On your screen, you see what your bill will look like. So if you order our $65 service, $65 is the price that you will pay. There are no modem rental or other surprise fees. And finally, there are no limits or data caps on your usage. If you want to use 20 terabytes of data in a month, go right ahead. Thanks to the capacity of our fiber lines, there really isn't any reason for us to limit how much data that you want to use. So we offer 3 service packages. Our lowest package is 250 megabits per second download and 250 megabits per second upload, and that costs $65 a month. We've found that this is good for up to about 25 or so connected devices in your home. Now, if you have more than 25 devices, you may want to consider our 500 megabits per second package, and that costs $85 per month. And our biggest package is a full gigabit or 1,000 megabits per second for $95 per month. This is really for people who have more than 50 connected devices or who want to work remotely. So if you're thinking about what package might be right for you, we've found that the vast majority of people do just fine with the $65 package. And like I said, this is hassle-free internet. So if you want to change packages at any time, just call us. There is no fee to do so. I'll also note that we offer your choice of a free month of service or a free Roku streaming stick when you order internet service. All right, now I want to spend a few moments just kind of talking about how fiber internet compares to other services such as cable or DSL. Fiber is a hair-thin piece of glass that transmits light impulses, and it has a lot of advantages over the older copper lines that Xfinity and other providers rely on. So fiber first was designed to send two-way information over long distances. Now the cable and DSL lines were built for the cable company or the telephone company to send video and audio signals to you. They were never intended for you to send data back to them. And because of this, if you have cable or DSL internet today, your download speed is much slower than your upload speed. Now, 10 years ago, this didn't matter as much as we were mostly downloading web pages and email. Not anymore. Video calls, backing up your data to the cloud, online gaming, and now, thanks to COVID, remote working and education. All of those require you to have high upload speed. Our fiber internet is what we call a symmetrical connection. Your upload speed is just as fast as your download speed. And finally, fiber lines have more bandwidth capacity and they won't slow down during peak usage times. All right, so I'm just about finished with my portion and we'll get to your questions in just a moment. But I do want to talk about streaming video. We have a lot of people ask us whether they can bundle TV service with Wintek fiber internet. And we made the decision early on not to offer video service because there's so many good streaming alternatives out there. And with fiber internet, you have more than enough bandwidth to stream anything and everything you want. And we have a new tool to help you choose those streaming products. So to stream video content, you need two things. First is plenty of bandwidth. Generally speaking, a high definition video stream requires about 15 megabits per second dedicated for each stream. Now our lowest video pack, or our lowest internet package, excuse me, is of 250 megabits per second would allow you to have about 16 devices all streaming in high def at the same time. So you have plenty of bandwidth even with our lowest package. The second thing you'll need is a smart TV or a streaming device. If your TV can connect to the internet and has apps available such as Netflix, Hulu, or others, then you're good to go. Otherwise, you'll need a streaming device such as Apple TV, Amazon's Fire Stick, or a Roku. We recommend Rokus because they're really easy to use and they have nearly every app available. But if you don't have a streaming device, no problem. You can choose to get one for free when you sign up to order Wintek internet service. Again, that's Roku Streaming Stick Plus is what we offer, and you'll get that at the time of your installation. If you already have a streaming device, your other option is to get your first month of service for free. So how do you choose which streaming service is right for you? We have a brand new tool at streaming.wintek.com that will help you pick the right streaming service for you. All you have to do is answer a few brief questions and the tool will recommend the best and most economical streaming options available to you. And additionally, the tool has a marketplace section where you can learn more about each individual streaming service. And at last count, over 50 streaming services are featured in here. I didn't even know there were that many. And lastly, here's a way to save $20 on your first bill. Some of you said you had already signed up for Wintek internet service. Use our Refer a Neighbor program and you will get a $20 bill credit every time someone you refer installs service. All they have to do is mention your name when they order service, and you and your neighbor will both receive a $20 bill credit when their service is installed. All right, so that is what I have. I hope you found it helpful. You can order service today by visiting join.wintek.com or by calling our member service team at 800-726-3953. Again, they're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and you should see that phone number on your screen. Before we do the Q&A, I need to draw our second gift card winner. So let me get up to the names here. And that second gift card winner is Rebecca Stuckey. I'm gonna guess that last name is pronounced Stuckey. Rebecca Stuckey. Again, we will get in touch with you after the meeting to verify your mailing address and get a $25 gift card off to you. So congratulations. Okay, so we're certainly available to answer any questions that you have if you want to enter those in the Q&A portion. I don't see any as of yet. I know I answered one offline kind of before we got started. All right, first question here from Edward Spitznagel. What do you consider devices? Phones, computers, Kindle, anything else? Great question, Edward. Really, devices, anything that connects to the internet, and that list is growing and growing by the day. In fact, I have a friend that has a connected toothbrush. I'm still trying to figure out what the use case is there, but really anything that connects to the internet. So you certainly hit phones, computers, Kindle. Think smart speakers if you have an Alexa or a Google Assistant. A lot of people have the Amazon Video product in their home. Some people have vacuum cleaners that connect to the internet. If you have tablets, certainly anything that connects to the internet is going to count as a device in your home. The national average right now for connected devices in your home is about 14 or 15 or so. A lot of experts expect that number is probably going to double in the next 2 years. The most I've heard so far is one guy I know who has 80 connected devices in his house. It lights up like a Christmas tree when he comes home. So thanks for your question. Next one from Greg and Kathy Baines. Do I need a streaming device for each television? Generally, the answer is yes. If your TV is not a smart TV, then you will need some kind of streaming device for each TV. Thankfully, those streaming devices really aren't terribly expensive. The Roku streaming stick that we recommend typically retails, I think, for about $50. I think the Amazon Fire Stick retails for even less. I'm not exactly sure what the price is, but I thought it was 40 or 45 or so. And Google also makes a Chromecast. Apple TV is kind of right in that range as well. And that's just a one-time thing that you buy and plug into the back of your TV. But you will need a streaming device for each TV if your TV is not a smart TV. Okay, also from Greg and Kathy Baines, is there a box at each TV or are they wireless? Actually, you have both options. The one that we give you, the Roku Streaming Stick Plus, is a wireless device, and it looks literally just like a USB stick. You just kind of plug it into a HDMI port, I believe, on the back of your television, and then it picks up your internet signal wirelessly. But Roku also makes a box that sits and actually has a place for an Ethernet cable to plug in. And I think Apple looks the same as well. Those boxes really aren't very big either. It's just kind of like a small donut box, if you will. They're pretty small and pretty manageable. Next question from David Groh. What type of equipment do you have to support the speeds of fiber optic cable? Is 250 megabits per second really that speed? The answer is yes. Now, I do want to clarify that a little bit in that you will get 250 megabits per second when you are on a wired connection. If you are on a wireless connection, depending on how far away you are from the router, depending on what kind of signal interference you have, you're probably going to see speeds anywhere from 150 all the way up to maybe 200 or so. And that can also depend on the age of your device as well. So if you're using a much older iPhone or iPad, a lot of those older devices have actually hardwired speed or wireless speed limits, if you will, and they only can pull about 150, maybe 200 megabits per second, even at their best connectivity. But if you are plugged into the back of your modem, you are going to get 250 megabits per second. I have the 500 megabit per second service at my house, and my computer is plugged into the back. I run speed tests all the time just because I'm a nerd like that, and it always pulls at least 500, if not a little bit over. So hope that answered your question. From Glenn Miser, The cable companies said that the speed would not drop significantly when installed, but of course it's terrible now. Why will yours not even have the same issue as more and more connect? Well, the great question, and what we're talking a lot about there is capacity of the fiber network. A lot of the old copper lines that the cable signals come in on, they're susceptible, one, to a lot of interference, electrical interference, weather interference, moisture, heat, cold. Fiber lines aren't susceptible to any of that kind of interference, so you don't have any signal loss, certainly at least from the road to your house. Number two is just literally network capacity. Like I said earlier, the fiber lines just have so much more capacity and bandwidth than the legacy cable modem. So you just don't see any of that network congestion, especially during peak usage times. One of the speeds that we measure, it's called ping, and it's measured in milliseconds. And on a cable connection, what ping basically means, it's how long it takes for the signal to go from your device to a remote server and back. On a cable connection, because of the congestion on there, your ping times are typically going to be between 60, 70 milliseconds. On my fiber connection at home, it's usually less than 10, and oftentimes it's less than 2 milliseconds. And so that really kind of tells you how much less congestion that these fiber lines have. It's just a far, far superior technology for internet. The next question is, when will your service be ready in the Cedar Ridge neighborhood? I'm looking at my cohort across the way here. Janet, do you know the Cedar Ridge neighborhood timeline? Okay, she's going to try to look up that answer for you, and we're going to try to get that back to you. I don't off the top of my head specifically know the Cedar Ridge neighborhood, but I know if yeah, it's the entirety of the monitor build area is scheduled to be done here the 1st of December. So you can go ahead and submit your order now, and we can kind of get you in the process. So if you're interested in the service. Don Lucas asks, how do I record shows or programs? So if you sign up with one of the streaming services, say Hulu or YouTube TV, they really work pretty similar to your legacy cable experience, with the one caveat being that it doesn't have the big remote with all the buttons. So the Roku that we hand out comes with a small, smaller remote that has only about 4 or 5 buttons, but it has everything you need. And really, you just kind of follow the prompts on the screen and scroll down until you see the record option. And it ought to be pretty easy for you to find. Most of those streaming services do offer at least a 1-week free trial. So I would just recommend that you sign up for one, give it a try for a week, and see how you like it. If you have any questions, certainly you can call our 800-726-3953 and press option 4. Our guys that work in our network operations center, they know those streaming services like the back of their head, and they can help you answer any questions you have. From Erwin Weiser, does the service permit recording TV programs? Absolutely, especially if you're using a streaming television service. And it's really kind of neat because all of those recordings are stored in the cloud, and you can kind of access them both from home and from your mobile device, wherever you have internet connectivity. So if you're at the ice cream shop and you decide you want to watch a football game, you can just pull up your streaming service and watch it there, assuming your internet connection is good enough. One thing you'll need to note when you're signing up for streaming services, and our streaming tool at streaming.wintek.com will walk you through this. Some of the services allow you unlimited recording. Others only allow you 40 hours a month of recording. So you just kind of need to look at the service features. I know I have YouTube TV at home, and it allows unlimited recording, meaning I can record anything and everything I want, and then allows me to keep it for 9 months. And after 9 months, they delete it off. Okay, from Douglas Wade, can the internet bill set to the same date as the electric bill? I don't believe so, because the two companies bill separately. But what you can do, you can certainly access both bills directly through Smart Hub, and you can also we have an auto pay option, so you can have it just posted to a credit card. But I don't believe they're able to set on the same date, because the two companies do bill separately. From Phil Steele, will you need multiple streaming services to get all the stations you presently get on cable? Well, so this is where our streaming tool is really going to be helpful for you, Mr. Steele, because it literally gives you an option to select every single channel that you want. So my recommendation would be to, make your must-have channel list, go to streaming.wintek.com and, click all the channels that you want. And it's then going to show you which streaming service is going to offer you all of those channels. So it actually gives you um, three responses. One, it will show you which streaming service will offer all of those channels. And then second, which streaming service will offer most of those channels, but save you a little bit of money by not offering all of them. And then three, which one will offer you the least amount of channels and save you the most amount of money. So it's a great informational tool to help you find the right streaming service for you. And again, that's at streaming.wintek.com. Sherry Fry asks, what kind of remote and is it voice activated? The answer is, so I'm going to talk about the Roku streaming stick because that's what we give out. It is voice activated, but that voice activation is pretty limited. And in fact, Patrick Mowry, one of our installers, is on the call, and he can probably answer this better than I can. So I'm gonna try to unmute Patrick. Janet, are you able to unmute Patrick? Because Patrick has forgotten more about these remotes than all the rest of us know.
Hey, no, the remote is not voice activated. Sorry. You hear me?
So Patrick, you said the remote is not voice activated?
Correct, it is not.
Okay. Okay, I thought it was. So my apologies, Sherry. It's not voice activated. So you may want to look at some additional streaming devices that may have that option available. From Ron Shoup, he asks, how do you receive local newscasts? So that's, again, the streaming.wintek.com. You can go there, and one of the things that you'll be able to check, especially in that marketplace when you click on individual streaming services, is do they offer local channels? Most of the major ones do. In fact, I know with YouTube TV, depending on what zip code you live in, you can actually choose whether or not you want Lafayette or Indianapolis local stations. I know if you're in the 06 zip code, you can choose. I'm not sure about some of the other zip codes. Some of the other zip codes may force you to have the Lafayette locals. But if you are able to choose between Lafayette and Indianapolis, I believe they allow you to switch, at least on YouTube TV, one time per year. But almost all of the major streaming services, Sling, Hulu, AT&T, YouTube TV, almost all of them have agreements for most of the local channels. And kind of another interesting thing about YouTube TV, which I have, they actually offer they have local market agreements in every market in the country. So let's say you travel to Miami, Florida, it's going to recognize your phone as being in Miami, Florida, and it will show you the Miami, Florida locals. I've always found that neat. Mr. Shoup also asks, is there a phone option like Triple Play? Thank you for that question. And shame on me, because I forgot to mention that we actually have a video service and a phone service deal with Mulberry Telecommunications. So you can actually, at the time you order service, you can choose to have phone service installed through Mulberry. I believe it's $35 a month. Or your other option is you can look at some voice over IP services, and these would be bought separately, just like your streaming television service. I know Vonage is a very popular one. You can search VoIP, which is spelled VoIP services, and you can kind of research which phone options would be available for you, and those come in again right over your fiber line. Thomas Mack asked, do you offer any hardware, routers, modems, Wi-Fi extenders? Yes, a router is included with your service, and that has Wi-Fi coverage built into it. We have found that Wi-Fi coverage is typically good for up to about 2,200 square feet or so. So if your home is larger than 2,200 square feet, we also offer a a device called a mesh unit, which is essentially a Wi-Fi extender. And that's an additional $3 per month charge to get that. Or if you'd like, you can buy Wi-Fi extenders, like the Google Mesh unit at Best Buy, if you just want to own your own Wi-Fi extender outright. But that modem does come included with your service, and it does have Wi-Fi coverage, and we found that it's good for up to about 2,200 square feet or so. And when your installer is in your home, he'll certainly test the Wi-Fi service at all the corners of your home, make sure your coverage is solid. And if we need to get you a mesh unit to extend your coverage, we'll certainly do that at your request. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions pop up. So I certainly want to thank everyone for being joining us tonight. I hope you found this useful. Again, join.wintek.com or 800-726-3953. We'd love to have the chance to serve you. So again, thank you everyone for being here tonight, and have a wonderful evening and stay healthy.